Now, when it comes to the never-ending fall-off of Young Thug and the mistake of bringing Kendrick Lamar into all of this, well, now Young Thug just released his response to all of the backlash he has been getting and the leaked call of him dissing Kendrick Lamar, Baby Keem, and everything Kendrick stands for. And if you are ready to see how everything just got even worse from this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And with each like that we get, well, that other side of hip-hop that consists of a legion of lame legends like Drake, Jeffrey, and Lil Baby, they just fall apart more and more. And now, speaking of falling apart, this is exactly what Young Thug has just done, and just like a lot of his friends who have been getting heavy backlash and who are clearly in the wrong, or at the very least just look pretty bad, well, Young Thug is another step closer to being the ultimate loser, as he just delivered one of the worst responses that we have ever seen. And what we do know for sure is that this guy does not have a single person working as a PR team for him, and there is not a single resource of his trying to clean this up in any way. As similar to the way he just reacted to all this Kendrick stuff coming out, the only person who is controlling or thinking about his legacy and reputation, well, is Young Thug himself, and at that in this delusional crash out mode that we have really never seen anything like. And as he just continues to sit behind a screen and ruin his legacy post by post, well, he is really following within the likes of his best friend Drake and also his former buddy in the guy who made Graduation, in terms of just how to ruin everything they have ever done with just the press of a button. And now I really do say this and really believe that we are starting to reach the level of these other two, because after reputation altering things coming out and shaking his image and shaking hip-hop, well, for Young Thug, who has just disrespected Kendrick Lamar and shown how much of a hypocrite he is for asking for a feature from him on one hand and then dissing him and his cousin behind the scenes, well, now just like his buddy Drake, which it seems like they are sharing playbooks, which I guess that is the Drake stimulus package in 2025, which is just how to crash out and fall off. Young Thug has decided to respond to the leaked Kendrick Lamar audio and everything there, not by maybe taking accountability for what he said, or you know what, even just by giving the actual weight and words of what he said just a half-intelligent thought. But nope, these are actors cosplaying rappers in 2025. So what do? They used a strategy which doesn't just command the opposite of respect in every single category, but they use something that for anybody with half a brain, which is the entire community of people who are actually into hip-hop, something that is not gonna work here, which is to just try and be vocal, but in a way where you're of course not saying anything, but you're just trying to deflect and act as dumb as you possibly can. And now with what Young Thug did, well, he made his return to social media and didn't step on this crash out with music or anything like that, which, to be honest, and everybody has been saying it, yet he doesn't want to do it. Well, if he just came out and dropped an album by surprise or dropped a song, maybe he could deflect in some sort of a successful way. But of course, as these grifters can't do anything without their streaming farms, writers, teams, Drake features, and then stream bots from Drake features, they didn't do that. And speaking of Drake, following in the Drake Loser Crash Out book in verbatim, we have reached the stage of the fall-off where you are posting poorly edited quote posts. And well, within this now, what Young Thug's official response to the Kendrick news and all these leaks coming out has been, well, was by sharing a post that was quoting none other than Denzel Washington and his thoughts on cancel culture, which reads exactly. Denzel Washington says, "Who cares?" when he's asked about being canceled or losing public support. And now with this, while Young Thug is trying to hide behind the words of one of the most respected actors of all time to slide out of this, well, Denzel is just that, one of the most respected actors of all time. And you know why? Because he respects his craft and he respects his peers, which is just ironic considering what just came out and what we heard. As really, after seeing the way that Jeffrey tried to say that Kendrick Lamar only makes music for rap fans and not real people, and you tried to pretty much make the rap world and real people tapped in with the culture seem like a joke or a thing that is this weird afterthought that you shouldn't do and that should be looked down upon. Well, listen, after doing something that is incredibly disrespectful, incredibly dumb, and and that is incredibly damaging to your reputation within this culture that controls how you are perceived in it. You can't just hide behind a quote from Denzel, who was more like Kendrick Lamar and who aligns with a lot of the things that he does as an artist in general compared to what you will ever come close to. And well, even beyond that, if we don't take it that far, this whole thing still falls apart because what we are seeing for Young Thug, well, just like Drake, is the worst trait that you can have as any person, which is that in the face of backlash or any sort of info coming out on you that doesn't look good, you don't even think about doing the mature thing, or you know what, just going silent and taking a break and actually interpreting and handling this within your own circle and reality, and instead you just take no accountability and do the worst possible thing, which is to stand in your ground and deny, which let's just look at this Kendrick situation for a second. Young Thug has doubled down now on saying that Kendrick does not care about the culture and the art form. He's doubling down on Baby Keem being trash, doubling down on saying that Drake is bigger than Kendrick, and he's doubling down on the fact that Kendrick is not a real rapper because he is not cool in his words, and he does not work with superstars like himself, Moneybagg Yo, Lil Durk, or Lil Baby. And listen, for Young Thug, I guess if this is what you believe and this is what you want to stand in, you can do whatever you want, I guess. But with that said, no matter what cringe pictures you put up that look like this to try and show that you're unbothered and you're chilling, although we know you must be worried behind the scenes because you have never faced this much backlash in your life, you were just gonna have a Drake-sized fall off. But listen, I don't think you realize this, but if Drake could not outdo Kendrick and ever make a comeback after he was exposed and put in a situation against him on any level, and he continued to double, triple, and quadruple and whatever we see now against him, between the literal track record of this and everything else going on, do you think that you are gonna fare out any better than him? Because really, for Young Thug right now, I would say that the rest of whatever is remaining of his career is really just banking on the fact that there is no audio of him talking about Future or Metro Boomin, because if those come out, then this guy is really done. You can sign, seal, and deliver it. But even with that, as Kendrick Lamar and the entire rap genre, culture, and game has been disrespected, and we have all heard that, well listen, there are millions of people who are going to remember forever this quote you're making about how rap music is not respected and Kendrick Lamar makes music for this weird subsection that is an afterthought for you, and it's not for real people and listeners, which, to be honest, as I'm saying this out loud, this really does remind me of the whole DJ Khaled and Tyler the Creator situation, which again with Khaled of course was when another clout-chasing grifter's music was not doing as well as he thought and real art was outperforming it, and he just couldn't comprehend that, and we got to hear the nasty truth about how they really feel about what really does fuel hip-hop as a whole and what keeps the genre running. And really, just like Khaled, who never came back from that, for Young Thug, he revealed to all of the pioneers and carriers of the culture who stuck up for you and defended the way your lyrics were being used against you as part of what the rap genre has always stood for, that you don't care about them or any of what this culture really represents. And listen, if you stand like this, which you are, I mean, again, if Drake got booted out of the culture in rap, you will be there right next to him and giving him a friend, I guess, which he's probably excited about, because really, as all of us have found out, that Jeffrey is another performative grifter clown who has been trying to stand at the top of the rap ladder, and now with Kendrick never giving him a drop, you are showing that you are going to make this fall off only get worse because you are responding to everything in the worst ways. Well, just like Kendrick's close friend, collaborator, and producer Terrace Martin said today, he is drinking spring water and watching this party go away forever. And well, if the response from Young Thug continues to be as bad as what Drake did, which it really looks like it's only going to stay at that level and maybe even get worse, well listen, to watch the demise of all of this is going to be easier than ever. And what I am starting to see, and what we will all find out as a whole, is that with this Young Thug fall off and pretty much abandonment from the hip-hop genre to him, well, if Kendrick and Drake now started this reset, this will set everything in place like we have never seen before. Because with all these rappers who are on the side of him and Drake just staying silent right now and really not knowing what to do with themselves, well, I'm sure they also know their careers are going to be next to fall off. Because with all of these lies being exposed and with people just sick of the performative grift, well, as Kendrick Lamar said on Whacked Out Murals, you can look around right now and laugh at whatever you want to, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to realize this. All of you are on trial and every dog has its day. And so now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think about Young Thug's awful response and what this is going to mean as the rap world is shaking up? And what do you think about everything going on in this moment? Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all this. And now if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now if you want to see how right before this, well, the Young Thug phone call and Kendrick Lamar disses are really going to just be something that will forever stain his reputation and are going to be the moment that we will look back on for why he had one of the biggest fall-offs we have seen in modern hip-hop. Check out the suggested video.